Welcome back to the semifinals of the SCG Regionals, hosted by Wasteland Gaming.
Woo! Almost done.
Almost done. Just this and the finals left. I'm Brad Van Slyke, and joining me in the booth.
Jeff Stouter.
So we have Talon versus Kendall. Both players we've had on stream at least once, if not a few times today. Talon running that sweet, sweet green-black Elves,
Oh, yeah.
and Kendall on Abzan control.
Yeah, so I have been harking on Talon's deck all day. I think his deck is A, super sweet, and B, super good.
Yeah, we've seen it just kind of come out of nowhere, or just hit the ground running. 1-drop, 2-drop, token, 3-drop, lose.
We actually switched over to the backup match last round, and as we were switching over, after we were informed of the life totals, and we felt it was probably going to go to a game 3, Talon played a Shaman of the Pack and murdered his opponent out of nowhere. It was great. It was marvelous. So we have our players shuffling up, presenting. About to get started here.
Yeah. So how do you feel the matchup is with the Elves into an Abzan control list?
I think it is. I think it's a decent matchup. Kendall actually is playing less languishes than a lot of the other Abzan control decks, so I think that gives Talon a pretty good window to just kind of get in there. If he can get his guys into play fast enough, he can definitely put a lot of pressure on Kendall before he's able to do anything about it.
Yeah. He has the ability to have almost 3, potentially even 4 creatures on the board before we even see Kendall have 1.
Yeah, or even before Kendall has the ability to cast a removal spell. Yeah. Kendall only has 1 ultimate price in his main deck and 4 Heroes Downfalls, 4 Abzan Charms, which aren't going to hit anything. He does have 1 End Hostilities, though, so let's see if Talon can cast a bunch of Elves, get underneath all the sweepers, and close out a game before Kendall's able to really mount any kind of solid defense.
Yeah. Interesting enough, Kendall's also running a copy of Tragic Arrogance, which is actually really good against decks that like to go super wide. I'll keep my Siege Rhino, you keep a Elf.
Yeah, you keep this 1/1 Elf token.
All right, looks like Talon is going to keep his opening 7. All right. Kendall is going to be taking a mulligan.
All right, yeah, I think, deck lists are pretty well known at this point. The players had a moment to look over their opponent's deck list, and they've also been playing in the same room for the last, 12 hours. So
yeah, pretty much.
They definitely know what each other is playing, and they definitely know what hands they're looking for to squeak out a game.
Yeah, player meeting, I believe, was 13 hours ago.
It's been a long one, Brad.
It has. It's been a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a blast. And thank everyone who is watching for watching. We love streaming it as much as you guys hopefully love watching it. And I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have, and definitely the players have.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Kendall 6 looks like. Well, there's Hero's Downfall. That's a start. And just a couple lands. I think he has 2 lands. Yep, and he's going to keep this. So we have an Elvish Mystic from Talon and a Temple of Malady from Kendall.
Good old Scrylands.
See if he can find his 3rd land drop on top of his deck. Right. Kendall's going to play a
Elite.
Dwynen's Elite.
Checks to see if you have if you control another elf. If you do, get a 1/1 elf warrior.
Yeah, so Kendall already has 4 power in play, and it's on turn 2. So he is not slowing down at all. Going to see if he can put Kendall under a bunch of pressure.
Bash in for 1 with that Mystic.
Yep. Looks like Kendall's going to Thoughtseize. Ooh,
Lord.
that is an awful lot of Gnarlroot Trappers in Talon's hand that he can't cast. So, yeah, I think this is a pretty easy Dwynen. The 4-mana Elf Lord from Magic Origins.
It has
Puncture Team.
Yeah, +1/+1 elves. It has reach, and whenever she attacks, you gain a life for every attacking elf.
Yeah, the life gain is not hyper relevant, but the pumping all your 1/1 elves is. So, all right, Talon just gonna crash in here for 4 and shift the turn back. It looks like he drew a collected company, I think. All right, and
Good old Coco.
Yeah, there it is. It actually seems really good in this deck. It can get shamans off the top of your deck, and putting 2 of those into play at instant speed will end a game.
Yep, absolutely.
Your opponent will be dead.
I mean, we got to see him. He was taking some heavy beats earlier today. Huge creatures coming at him, and he just kept firing off. Going to blockers, collect a company, grab 2 dudes. One of them being the elite, have 3 dudes, block, still have creatures left up, swing back for lethal, just out of nowhere.
Yeah, his deck has looked very impressive over the course of the day. Looks like he's still missing his 3rd land drop, so he's going to shift the turn back. Kendall's going to draw, Sandstep Citadel on top of his deck. See if he plays the land from the top of his deck, or he needs an untapped source to play that Siege Rhino in his hand. 2 Siege Rhinos now, actually. Mini much Rhinoceros.
Yeah. I mean, back-to-back Siege Rhinos is going to undo everything Talon's done so far.
And also deal a whole lot of damage on the way. Alright, looks like Kendall's going to play land from top of his deck. And Nissa on top.
Downfall on the mana elf.
Yeah, that's fine. You're not doing too much else with it. Oh, yeah, and drew the forest, just like we drew it up. So Talon is going to need to find something soon, or Kendall's going to be able to take control of this game. He already has a board pretty much stabilized. Yeah, I don't assume there's any blocks. Yep, Talon just taking the 2, going down to 18.
Land off the top.
Putting Kendall up to 15.
And Siege Rhino.
And a Siege Rhino. Effectively swapping the life totals. We now have Talon at 15 and Kendall at 18. Alright, yep. Looks like Talon still doesn't have anything. It's going to pass the turn right back. And a Courser on the top of Kendall's deck. I believe Talon was showing him the cards he already knew about from the previous Thoughtseize. What a nice guy. Yep, just keep him coming. Well, looks like Talon's just going to take the 6, go to 9. And another Siege Rhino. Putting Talon down to 6 and Kendall up to 21. Yeah, this game looked really good for Talon at the start, but Kendall was able to capitalize on Talon missing his 3rd land drop for a couple turns.
Yeah, plus that Hero's Downfall on his mana dork allowed the collected company just sit in his hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not done yet. We're probably getting close to a game 2, though. Yep. Looks like he drew another 4-drop, and Talon's just going to scoop him up.
Okay.
All right, so we have Kendall Burdette winning game 1 over Talon Carrin. Abzan control up a game over Green-Black Elves. All right, so let's look at Kendall's sideboard.
All right.
So he has 2 copies of Ultimate Price that look pretty good here. He has 2 copies of Drown in Sorrow, which look very good here. And the Erishan Clerics, I can see him putting in to kind of pad his life total from any Shaman shenanigans. They also block the 1 and 2 mana Elves he has pretty efficiently.
I'm actually looking at the Dragonlord Dramoka in his list. While it is expensive, he's got a lot of like 8-drop wins, like we mentioned. He's got the Ugin. It seems siding in the Dragonlord over Ugin is basically going to do the same thing. Because aside from the Dwyer, I don't see any way for Talon to interact with flyers.
Yeah, he has, I believe, 2 copies of Ultimate Price in his main deck, and I believe he has...
Ultimate Price being destroy target monocolored creature.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has 1 copy of Murderous Cut. I was just looking for all the removal spells Talon had in his whole deck. He's probably bringing this Murderous Cut out of the sideboard.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, Farika, God of Affliction, seems pretty decent in this matchup. Being able to stick a threat that Kendall can't necessarily just kill with the hero's downfall. And it also helps, reapply pressure after a board sweeper like End Hostilities or Drown in Sorrow. Maybe the 2 copies of Gather the Pack can come in here. I assume they're mostly for control decks, but this game seems like it could get, longer, grindier. So it'll help Talon kind of refill his hand toward the later part of the game. Get more elves, play more elves.
Yeah. What do you think about bringing in the Duresses?
The Duresses are fine. If I was gonna bring in discard spells, I'd rather bring in the 4 Thoughtseizes. It just the ability to take a pivotal Siege Rhino or Courser of Crufix when that's their only like big blocker that they have in their hand can be really good for a deck like Talon's. He's able to play a 1-drop, play a 2-drop, turn 3, take Kendall's blocker on the play, and then Kendall could just sit there and not do anything while he just gets bashed to death with these elves.
Yeah. As we saw before, he has 4 power on the board, turn 2.
Yeah, like I said, he had a quick start. Unfortunately, he couldn't hit his 3rd land drop to play, or a black mana of any sort to play all the black spells in his hand, or the 4 mana spells he drew later. Nope, I don't think there was a tremendous amount of deviation in Talon's play. Like, I don't think there's anything else he could have done.
Sometimes the draws just aren't with you.
Yep. Part of Magic. Alright, players shuffling up, getting ready for game 2. Looks like our players are having some witty banter between the 2 of them.
Yeah, but it's down to just the coverage team, the judge staff, and the top 8 players. Well, now just the top 4.
Yeah. People have gone home to go to sleep like sane, rational people, while maniacs like Bradley and myself stay here to give you the Magic coverage that we know you want.
It's true.
Also, man, I'm happy to stick around and just watch this green-black Elves deck.
It just feels so satisfying when you see like the shaman come down and be like, oh yeah, just take 12. Like, I'm sorry, what? Yeah, you heard me.
In the face.
Yeah.
Right in the face. Or the good old collected company for double shaman, or they also have Court of Calling that they can just rip a shaman right out of their deck at instant speed, get you.
Why even cast him? It's all enter the battlefield.
Just put him in.
Just put him in.
Put him on the table, see if your opponent notices.
We do have several L2 judges just staring down at the board.
So not
so
that one.
They will probably notice.
The other ones, not so much the last one.
Big thank you to the judge staff here at SCG Regionals. They have been absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. They've worked with us. They've made our streaming experience very good. This is the first time with us streaming with so many judges, and they were all very helpful, very nice. So shout out to them for being super, super awesome.
Yeah. We're able to have all these great sideboard discussions because of the deck list that they were able to provide us.
Yes, absolutely.
And looks like we are going to pregame procedure. Looks like Kendall's going to mulligan.
Yep, looks like Talon's keeping it 7 and Kendall's going down to 6. Yeah, Talon's hand looks good. It has 3 lands. I see an Elvish Visionary and a Nissa. So solid start. Maybe not necessarily blistering fast like he would prefer, but it's good. It's fine. All he wants to do is put some dudes in play. Ooh, a Quarter Calling too.
Oh, that quarter calling turns online for any card in his deck super fast.
Oh yeah. His curve stops at 4. So as long as he has seven permanents in play, he can cast a court for any creature in his whole deck. All right, Kendall presenting, and let's see if this 6 is any better. Oh, I see a Drown in Sorrow and a land that taps for black mana. It's probably a keep. Yep, Snap keeps it. 2 land Erishin Cleric and Drown in Sorrow. Whew, and a Thoughtseize off the top. Looks like both players are going to start with a Scryland. Kendall looking at a second copy of Thoughtseize. Going to ship it to the bottom. I think he's just looking for that third land. Elvish Visionary. Thank you, Talon. Alright, let's see if Kendall decides to fire off this Thoughtseize. This will put Kendall to 18.
Mm-hmm.
And
Swamp, I believe Nissa, Dwyer, Thoughtseize, Cord, and Urborg?
Yes, that is an Urborg. So it looks like Talon has plenty of mana. Probably taking the Daiwin, because the Nissa also gets swept up in the Drown in Sorrow that Kendall already has in his hand. And the last thing you want Talon to do is to play an Elf Lord, pump his team up above
Drown range.
Yeah. So I think this is a pretty easy one.
How do you feel about the Elf Lord being a legendary creature?
Taking the Thoughtseize. I think it's fine. I feel like the legendary creature text is mostly for flavor reasons. But that's fine. I don't suppose they want too many lords in the format. I mean, them costing 4 mana, they would not be as good in multiples, but her effect is powerful, so I can see them putting a legendary stamp on it. Kendall scrying, decides to keep it on top. So Kendall's choice of Thoughtseize is pretty interesting. It must mean he's not worried about the Daiwin.
Yeah, I think he knows when it's going to come down. And he knows he'll probably be able to untap with that Drown. Because I believe we saw a basic forest in Kendall's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be able to play that untapped and just fire that off.
Yep, so Nissa going to go get a forest out of Talon's deck, going to put it into his hand. Talon going to come in for 1, putting Kendall to 17. And let's see if Kendall decides to fire off this Drown in Sorrow. Ooh, and a Hero's Downfall off the top. Yep, just drowning right now. Get it over with. Alright, it looks like he scryed and kept it on top with that drown. So, Talon has drawn a copy of Collected Company, which is going to be pretty good here. It masks what he drew, leaving this 4 mana open, because Kendall doesn't know about any cards in his hand except for the... Oh, I guess he knows about the Daiwin.
Yeah. I actually really like a end step collective company into untap, play the Lord, and just bash in.
Oh, yeah.
Because odds are you're getting at least 2 elves, and you might even... We haven't seen any of his elites, so he's probably going to find 1/6 cards deep. He's running
Yeah,
4 of.
absolutely. And Kendall doesn't really have anything he can do about it. Ooh, an Elspeth on top from the Corsair reveal. And no 4th land for
Yep.
Kendall. Right, and there's the Collected Company. Oh, there's an Elite right on top.
And a Shaman of the Pact.
And a Shaman. All right, one more.
Was that 3 Thoughtseizes?
3 Thoughtseizes just right on the top of his deck.
So he's going to stack his triggers so that that elf token comes in first. So I believe Kendall's just going to take 3 from the Shaman entering here. Shaman of the Pact, that premier uncommon from Magic Origins.
Oh, yeah. This card is super sweet. All right. And there's his very glary elf token. Yeah, now seems like a pretty good time to slam the Elf Lord down and just bash in for a whole bunch. Like, he's kind of playing into a Languish, but I don't know if he can win if Kendall has a Languish anyway.
Kendall needs a Languish and an untapped land in his hand.
Yeah.
Though.
Or on the top of his deck.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true, because he can play it right off the top of Corsair.
Yeah, so Talon coming in for 9 here. That is a lot of damage. I assume Kendall is going to block one of the 3/3s, or the 2/2 or the 3/3 with his Corsair. Let's see if he decides to pick up the free block on the token. No, it looks like he'll just do the safe block, suck up as much life as he can.
He's going to take 6.
Going down to 8.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, the Collected Company being instant speed is just such a huge tempo gain for the Elves deck. He went from an empty board to a very strong attack in less than a turn.
Yep, Talon revealing cards from his hand, letting Kendall know that since he missed his land drop again, can't cast Language, he is pretty much dead to the Collected Company and the Shaman in his hand. But Kendall will not go down so easy. He just says, yep, play it out. I mean, Kendall's not necessarily dead. He does have a Hero's Downfall in his hand, which I assume he's going to aim at Dwynen. Yep, and here's a Shaman.
Take 5.
It's going to hit for 5. Yep, and in response to the trigger, Hero's Downfall this guy. He's saying it's in response to with Shaman on the stack. So Kendall's going to lose 4. Go to 4.
Oh, he's just gonna.
Yep,
he's gonna court for the other Shaman.
Yep, Kendall still like show it to me. Show me you have him in your deck still. Yep, there it is.
All right, and we're gonna go to game 3.
And Talon's gonna force a game 3. All right, so that's exactly how Talon drew it up. That's exactly how he wants this game 3 to go as well. He wants to apply a lot of pressure in the early game, and then kind of peck away at Kendall's life, and then finish him off with Shaman of the Pack after Shaman of the Pack to just drain him out of the game. Dwynen seemed very good there.
Yeah, with those 3 Shamans that hit for 3, then 4, then 5.
3 and then 4 and then 5.
Yeah.
Yep. So
there's 12 damage that you just can't answer. Okay, your life total's at 8. I attacked you. I turned my dude sideways.
that was after a Drowning Sorrow.
Yeah.
That was after he wiped his board once. So this is why I really like this elf deck. I think it is something that we haven't seen a tremendous amount of since Origins came out.
It's surprisingly resilient. 2 board wipes.
Yeah, absolutely. has a lot of instant speed ways to get creatures into play at the end of your opponent's turn, which makes it decent against the control decks because it can make them tap out and then it can untap and then play another thing, like another Collected Company or something to get more threats into
Basically,
play.
pseudo haste. Okay, on your end step, you had to answer my guys. You had to, because a lot of the really big sweeps, Drown in Sorrow, especially Languish, sorcery speed. So you're gonna have to use your mana that turn. Okay, well now that that's happened, let's fetch up some guys.
All right, players look like they're not going back to sideboard.
Yeah, most of the sideboard tech is to directly deal with the main threats of each other's decks, so they're not gonna like counter sideboard the sideboard cards. Although we did see a Thoughtseize for Thoughtseize.
Yeah, which seeing how Kendall's hand played out actually made a lot of sense. He was doing it so Talon couldn't Thoughtseize his Drown in Sorrow, because that would have been
That
detrimental.
That bought him a turn. Even with that, as we mentioned before, that quick refill of the board, it definitely bought him a turn, if not more.
So that's respectable. I also like Talon's bringing in of Thoughtseize here. It's like I said, he can take the Drowns, he can take the Languishes, but he also is able to take, like I said, the Coursers or the Siege Rhinos. All right, looks like players are drawing up. One more for Talon, that's 7. Looks like he has 4 lands and Elvish Mystic, and I can't quite make out the rest. It looks like Kendall has, again, lands and a Drown in Sorrow, so that's probably going to be good enough. Yep, it looks like both players have kept their 7, and Kendall's on the start with a Sandstep Citadel. And then Talon with a turn 1 Elvish Mystic.
Scry land.
Yep, I believe that is a Thoughtseize on top, so let's see if Kendall wants to keep it. Nope, looks like
He's going to bottom it.
Oh, there it is. It looks like he was about to second guess himself. Ooh, a Sylvan Messenger. Yep, and there's the Elite. This is very reminiscent of Game 1.
Battle for 1.
Except now, there is a Drown in Sorrow on its way this turn. Yep, there it is. And Kendall sees a Sandstep Citadel on top, and he leaves it there. Alright, Talon's going to scry. Put it on the bottom. And pass the turn back.
Do you not have a Visionary in hand? Or
No, he has a Sylvan Messenger in hand.
Oh, okay.
4 mana reveal.
I believe we said Visionary earlier and we meant Mystic.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. Elvish something or other, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much all of it. Alright, looks like
We're going to see Siege Rhino here.
Alright, and that's going to put Talon to 17 and Kendall up 21.
We're going to Messenger.
Is going to reveal another Messenger, put it into Talon's hand. A pretty decent card in this deck, Sylvan Messenger. A lot of hits.
I mean, half this deck digs for the Shaman of the Pack, and the other half just puts it into play.
Ooh, Languish on top. That's a good one.
Because Siege Rhino didn't need more upsides. It also lives through Languish.
Just if Abzan mid-range needed another card. It looks like Talon drew the Shaman of the Pack. Alright, casting another Sylvan Messenger. Gonna pick up an Elite. And gonna play a Temple of Malady and scry it straight to the bottom. He's gonna need to come up with something quick if he wants to outrace the Siege Rhino. And a Tragic Arrogance on top of Kendall's deck. Just wrath after wrath after wrath.
Once again, more wrath that Siege Rhino lives through.
That is one tough Rhino. Yep, looks like he's coming in, and looks like there's going to be a double block on the Courser. And a Hero's Downfall on it, so... Yep, Talon will lose his whole team, and also get down to 9. Kendall just keep on applying pressure. Alright, so... It looks like Talon can play a Root Trapper into a...
Elite.
Elite into a Shaman to deal 4. But that's just not going to be enough.
It's going to get eaten by that Languish.
Oh yeah, Languish is going to clear the board up. I mean, Kendall could also just attack into all this. It doesn't... Like, all his creatures trade profitably. Yep, and it looks like that's exactly what Talon will do. So, sending...
Kendall to 18.
4 damage upstairs. All that Elven Fury.
The trees.
And Arishan Cleric on top. Yeah, Kendall has this game. He also has another Drown and Sorrow in hand. Yeah, this is not looking good for Talon.
Oh, he can just drown. He doesn't even have to lose anything.
He
can drown and still swing in for 2.
It's an embarrassment of riches right now for Kendall. He is just contemplating the ways in which to dispatch Talon.
I think I drown and get in for 2 with the Rhino here.
Yeah, the thing is
Tragic Arrogance. Or I'll get in for 3. Is it the Elite? I can't quite tell with the glare.
That is the Shaman of the back.
Okay.
You get to keep the token.
I choose, not you. Oh, because he can choose enchantment to save save the Courser and creature to save to choose the Rhino.
Yep, so he's just coming in for, looks like what's going to be, just taking all of his 6 points of damage. Sending Talon to 3. And there's a Dwynen and another Shaman, dealing 3 back to Kendall.
Land off the top. Let's go ahead and use that.
Yep, going up to 16. I mean, he wasn't really in any danger of getting burned out, but...
Ultimate price.
I mean, Talon's trying to fight back through all this.
Talon has no cards in hand?
No, Talon is hellbent.
Am I gonna languish? Let's tickle with a Courser. See if he lets it through.
Oh yeah, this language is coming down. If that attack is great.
I believe that's actually a letter that the Courser is delivering, saying there's a languish coming. That's not an attack. It is a loving message.
I mean, the block with the Dwynen is free. Kendall, he's gonna lose his Courser anyway, so he might as well.
Do you double block here to style out?
Just No, because then you don't even make them use the language. It's the worst. You just have to single block with your Dwayne and be like, yeah, well, I know. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Yep, just put them all right in front of that guy. This is an aggressive block. All right, that makes more sense. Yep. So Kendall's just going to kill the shaman and languish anyway, because why not? Yep, Dwynen says other elves get +1/+1, so all of Talon's creatures are now in the graveyard. And what do we have? Do we have anything good? I sure hope so for
Collected
Talon's
Company
sake.
could still save him.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. He just passes the turn back. Yeah, that shaman is not a token. Oh, and it's a forest, and that's match. All right, so we have Kendall Burdette moving on to the finals.
And I believe we may have our other semifinal match still going on.
Maybe it is the Jeskai burn deck, so I do not have high hopes. He has finished his matches obscenely quickly every time he's been anywhere near the feature match table.
Yeah.
He told me earlier he was just burning them down. So
No, I really like that list a lot. It's
it's
a blast to watch from here, and I've actually got be the spotter for many of Zach's games, and he's just all grins. He plays with an energy that even his opponent's like, yeah, I'm just getting blasted for the 4, but I'm playing Magic and having a good time.
Yeah, he's a polite gentleman.
Yeah.
But he's also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's very, very happy to be here, very happy to be playing a sweet bird.
Yeah. And you see a lot of players play at breakneck speeds. They tend to miss things. Like they're just so focused in, but you don't make it to the top 8 missing a ton of stuff.
No, Zach has been playing real tight all day. Lighting his opponents up. All right, give us 1 sec. We're going to check on our backup match, and we'll be right back. All right, we just received word that our backup match is, as anticipated, over and done with already. So from the booth, this is Jeff Stouter.
And Brad Venslake, and we'll see you in the finals.
Absolutely. Absolutely.